Don't you worry any longer. You look ugly when you frown, and I don't want that shit around. Didn't know, I never told you. It's all big fake smiles in California. Yeah.
Good morning, guys. We are in Geneva, Switzerland. We've been here for about 3 days already. It's so beautiful. I absolutely love Switzerland. I've never been to Geneva before, but we went to this place called Bergenstock in November on a vacation. And ever since then, I've said that Switzerland is one of my favorite places in the world. It's like a utopia here. The clouds are picture perfect. It's so beautiful. Everything's so green. And so far, I absolutely love Geneva, so I can't wait to show you guys more of it. So we're here because Taylor is playing in the Geneva Open, which I'm just about to leave for. He's playing his first match today. I asked on my Instagram this week and you guys said that you wanted to see more outfit content. So here is the fit for today. I thought it was very Switzerland. This jacket is from Tularosa on Revolve. I'll link everything down below. This skirt I've had since like high school and I still love it. Then I have these knee-high boots that are from Vince Camuto. I'm gonna go get coffee and then we're gonna go to the match. Here we go, this point. Taylor won his match, which is great. I am at this park that I've been coming to every single day because it's so pretty. It's right next to the lake. So we're staying in the city center of Geneva, but if you walk 20 minutes down the lake, there's all this nature and these big parks, and it's so pretty, and there's these little birds that come and hang out right next to me, and it's so peaceful. There are a lot of people who are like biking and running, but for the most part it's just very serene. And when we're traveling, I would say for the most part we are in big cities. A lot of the European tournaments are like right in the middle of the city. Usually the hotel rooms are kind of small. I feel kind of cooped up and trapped, and it's always so urban that if we're somewhere where I have the opportunity to be in places like this and in nature, it's such a treat. Anyways, the other day I went to the store and got this coloring book and colored pencils because I feel like lately I've been spending so much time on my phone, like working from my phone, and I'm always watching something. When I was watching a YouTube video, I'm always listening to podcasts, and I wanted something that when I go to like a coffee shop or cafe or I'm in the park, I can just do something with my hands, and I feel like that helps me get out of my head a little bit. And while I'm doing this, I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the things that I've shared on my Instagram stories over the last couple years, just like little helpful tips and advice that I've learned from like books, podcasts, therapy that I've actually stuck with, because I've read a disgusting amount of self-help books the last couple of years, and I'm trying to like not do that as much anymore, because while it's really helpful, I feel like it gets to a point where I'm like, how many other people's morning routines do I need to listen to? Like at this point, I know what works for me. It can kind of actually be a little bit counteractive when I'm constantly listening to these things. Like I don't need to listen to how this like multimillionaire drinks celery juice every single morning and it's changed her life, you know? But anyways, these are some things that I actually started doing probably years ago that I have stuck with and I think are awesome and I'm a huge advocate for. And if you follow me on Instagram, you probably have heard me talk about these things, but I think that they're great, so I wanted to share them on here kind of all in one place. So the first one is called The Ultimate Guide to My Unhappiness, and basically what this is a very objective list of things that contribute to me being unhappy. So on mine, it's things like drinking alcohol makes me feel bad, not going on morning walks makes me feel bad, not getting ready and getting dressed in the morning makes me feel bad. So if I'm in a low period, like I have a low couple of days or a low week, I can go back and refer to this list and look at my unhappiness objectively, and it helps me not be so hard on myself, because I feel like sometimes when I'm not feeling great, I'm like, oh, like, why aren't you feeling good? Like, why are you feeling like this? You had such a good couple weeks. And that just makes me feel worse. But with this list, I can go back and refer to it and be like, you know what? I've had wine the last 2 nights, or I didn't go on a walk today. And that kind of helps me look at how I'm feeling more objectively, instead of being really, really hard on myself about it. And then it's also a good reminder of like, okay, these little things are important. They're super, super important. Okay, the next thing is called my compliments folder, and I didn't read about this anywhere. I didn't listen to it in a podcast. I kind of just started doing it one day and really love it. So my compliments folder is just a photo album on my phone where I save nice messages from people. Kind of started one day when I got a birthday text from one of my friends that was just the sweetest thing in the entire world, and I wanted to save it. And that one text the last year or so has kind of turned into this little self-help mechanism. But basically I just save nice messages from friends, from family, from followers. And this has been really great for me because I am a very self-critical person, especially with social media. I feel like I have a lot of self-doubt thoughts where I'm like, why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? Am I really helping anyone? Like, why? Like, why am I doing this? So sometimes when I get these messages from people that are so genuine and so nice, of course it's good to have good self-confidence and self-esteem and be able to talk to yourself nicely, but that's not always possible for me. So sometimes I need to hear it from other people, honestly. So just start saving nice messages from your friends, from family, from coworkers, from your boss, things that just kind of help remind you of who you are and what you can do and the good that you bring to other people's lives, because when you're being self-critical, it is so easy to forget those things. Next one is what I call a worry list, and I did hear this one in a podcast. I actually don't really do this one anymore because I don't have to, which is a blessing. But if you are someone who is very, very anxious, this was super helpful for me a few years ago. What the worry list is, and I used to just do this in the notes app on my phone, is you write a list. Each worry has 3 bullet points. Okay, sorry guys, there's a man chopping wood behind me. So for example, the first bullet point would be, I'm anxious about my exam on Friday. The second bullet point would be, what is the worst possible case scenario? So you could write, I fail my test, I don't pass the class, and I have to graduate late. And then the third bullet point is, after the fact, you write what actually happened. So ideally in that situation, you would get a B on the test and everything is fine. And if you do this for a while, you will quickly notice a pattern that the worst possible case scenario, what you're so anxious about, usually doesn't happen. And even if it does, everything turns out okay. And that would just kind of calm my nerves and reassure me that I'm just a anxious girly and bad things are not happening all the time. The next one that's actually been life-changing for me is the 5-second rule, and this is from Mel Robbins, who I absolutely adore. If you guys have not watched her videos or read her books or listened to her podcast, highly recommend. I think she is awesome. It's like the most simple thing in the world, which makes it kind of silly. It's helpful for procrastination and anxiety. I would say a method of action if you're having trouble getting yourself to do something. For example, on days when it's hard to get out of bed in the morning, all you do is you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you just do it. You don't think about it, you don't question it. If you're trying to decide whether or not to go to the gym, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm putting on my gym shoes and I'm walking out the door and I'm just gonna do it. And for me, it kind of has just gamified doing things for me, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. It's very, very helpful for me to gamify things in my life. For example, like walking, hot girl walks, branding it as a hot girl walk for some reason just makes me want to do it more. Similarly, my Aura ring, love my Aura ring. It's gamified sleep for me. Every single morning I wake up and I want to like beat my sleep score from the night before, and now I sleep way better. All right, we're making progress on the sheet. Okay, and then this last one is specifically for like anxiety attacks, panic attacks, or overthinking. If you are overthinking or starting to panic about something, focus your eyes on one object and do not move your eyes from that object. Your memory is connected to your vagus nerve, so if you are not moving your eyeballs, your brain can't properly search for thoughts and memories. It's the strangest thing ever, but I swear it works. And if you're having a full-blown anxiety attack, bite into a lemon, like skin and all, because the bitterness of the peel and the sourness of the lemon will ground you. Ugh, my mouth's just started watering thinking about that. Anyways, I hope those things are helpful. I'm obviously not an expert or a self-help channel by any means, but I have dealt with those sort of things for pretty much my entire life. So, you know, I'm happy to share what's helped for me and worked for me, because I know a lot of other people deal with that stuff, especially now, because shit's whack. And that's why I'm sitting in a park doing a sheep coloring book, because you gotta just figure out ways to take care of yourself.
When you're down, when you're down, when you're down, you just make it all about yourself.
Okay, I need to go because I have to pee so bad right now. Taylor and I are going to dinner at L'Entrecôte, which is a very popular steakhouse in Paris, and they don't take any reservations. And a lot of times if you go to the ones in Paris, there's like an hour line, 2-hour line, and there's no menu there. They just give you steak, salad, bread, and fries, and that's it. It is really good, so I'm excited to go. I hope we have a couple more days here because I do really enjoy it. I like Paris, but we spend a lot of time there, and it's just, it doesn't have quite the same vibe as this place does. But I am really excited for Paris next week and French Open. Obviously, Grand Slams are always really exciting, but I'm glad that we came here for a little bit before so I could kind of just get a little bit of a reset.
When you're down, when you're down, when you're down, you just make it all about yourself.
I'm on my way to a sunrise yoga class. If you can't tell by the huge bags under my eyes, I woke up like 4 minutes ago.
I know someday we could finally be. I know someday we could finally be.
Alright guys, it is quarterfinals today. Here's the fit. This top is from Aritzia. These pants are from Subdued. Subdued is one of my favorite stores in Italy, but every time that I go in there, the entire store is all teenage girls, so I think it's kind of like the Brandy Melville of Italy, but I like it because they have stuff that actually fits me. And then these sunglasses are Le Specs from Revolve. It's another absolutely beautiful day out, and it was so hot during the match yesterday in my big ass fluffy jacket, so that's why I'm wearing a tank top. But I'll probably bring a jacket just in case. I had my driver drop me off at the bottom of the hill so I could show you guys the gardens. This is a 250 tournament, which is the lowest level of tournament for the ATP Tour. They're known for being not as nice. However, this one is definitely one of the nicest that I've been to, just because Geneva is so beautiful. Like, there's not many places we go to where you go outside and like just hear bird song. I don't know, I love it. So nice. It just reminds me of growing up. It smells so good.
That's
Taylor just won his match. He played very well. I think it was like 53 minutes or something. It was a very fast match. Usually I would say on average they're around 2 hours. Now I'm going back to the hotel and I'm gonna get lunch. I just got a smoothie bowl for lunch and decided to actually go do some shopping because we're staying in the city center here and the shopping is absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, it's all very expensive, but I thought it'd be fun to just look around, and if I see something I like, maybe I'll get it. However, I'm still kind of hungry, so I'm going to this bakery that I saw on TikTok. TikTok is where I find most things to do while I'm traveling. I literally just go in the search bar and type in like Geneva things to do, or Geneva restaurants, or Geneva coffee. Anyway, so this bakery has this chocolate croissant roll thing that just looked so good, and I have a sweet tooth right now, so I'm gonna go try it. The inside of it has this like chocolate mousse. As I'm sure you guys know, Switzerland is known for its chocolate. It's so good here. As you guys have probably noticed, I do not diet, I don't restrict food. I feel like I eat relatively healthy most of the time. If I'm craving something, I just get it. Because life is short, I'm in Europe, and I can always buy bigger jeans. So like most athletes, tennis players are very superstitious, some more than others. Most of you guys probably know, like Rafa is very superstitious about the direction of his water bottles on court. Some players will wear the same underwear the entire week. Taylor is not as superstitious as other players, but there are certain things that he gets a little bit superstitious about, or kind of just gets into these routines when he's playing well. I think the biggest superstition that he has is pre-match meals, or what we have for dinner the night before his match. So because he played well today, he wants to have the exact same dinner that he had the night before. This week, the hyper fixation meal of choice is ramen that we've been ordering on Uber Eats. He refuses to eat anything else for dinner. So we're in Switzerland and we're having ramen for dinner every night. Guys, I legitimately feel like I am going insane. So last November, I think it was when we were in Switzerland last November, I felt like I'd just been getting deja vu a lot recently. And so I decided to start tracking it in a note on my phone where I write like where I got the deja vu, like what date, what time, and what I was doing. It was so weird because the first like couple months that I did it, I would get the deja vu around the same date every month. And I was always doing different things, but like if you guys get deja vu a lot, I'm sure everyone's had it at one point. It's just the most uncomfortable, weird, off-putting feeling. Anyway, so I've been tracking it for the last like 6 months. I have gotten it 4 times in the last like 4 days. I got it yesterday morning when we were at breakfast at the hotel, and I actually had to think and reassure myself, we've never been to this tournament before, we've never been to Geneva before, there's no way that I've ever like experienced sitting here and this happening. Like I honestly felt like I was going insane. And then last night I'm standing in the bathroom, Taylor's in the shower, I'm brushing my teeth, getting ready for bed, and it happens again. And I literally stood at the sink and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And deja vu for me is so frustrating because I'm the type of person that like, I want to understand everything. I want to research it. There's no explanation for it. Andrew Huberman, who I listened to his podcast, Huberman Lab, very smart guy, scientific. He's like a neurobiologist. And he explains it that every time that you experience something in life, your brain fires off a certain amount of neutrons in a certain order. And when you get deja vu, what's happening is your brain is firing off those same neutrons in the same order. Even listening to him explain it in the most basic way, it still just does not make any sense to me. And I'm not a religious person, as you guys know, I've talked about that before, but I am like a spiritual person, and for some reason deja vu just feels spiritual to me. Like, of course I went into like this deep dive rabbit hole on TikTok of people talking about deja vu and trying to explain it, and people of course have all different theories. One guy, my favorite explanation for it was that your highest potential of your life is like a line, a straight line, and sometimes you venture off this way or you make a decision and it goes this way, but eventually, you know, you're working up towards this like line of your highest potential, and every time that you get deja vu, it's you crossing that line that is to reach your highest potential. I don't know, it was kind of interesting. I want to have like a positive feeling about it because I don't know, I just don't like it. It makes me feel like like stressed out inside. It's just a weird feeling. Anyways, deja vu tangent over. I'm about to leave for the semifinals. I have this little dress on that doesn't even have a tag, and I think I've had it for like 10 years, so I can't link it, but it's cute, it's simple. Yeah, let's go to the match. Okay, Taylor lost the match. I'm very sunburned. I didn't realize how sunny it was gonna be. Lily's birthday. Hi. We are getting Aperol spritz. Partially because it's Lily's birthday, partially because we're disappointed. We're coping with the loss. Salute. Hi, little bird. Hi.
Like so salty.
I thought it would be like queso. Oh, Taylor just tried the cheese fondue and absolutely hates it. I like it, but I will eat any kind of cheese or stinky cheese or moldy cheese.
Not for me.
Okay, it is our last morning in Geneva. I just went and grabbed coffee, and we are actually taking the train from Geneva to Paris today. I've taken the train before from Paris to London, but I've never taken it from Switzerland, but apparently it's beautiful, and taking the train in Europe is a little bit easier than flying.
I said not at all.
Okay, now yeah.
So.
Okay, we're on the train from Geneva to Paris. It's about 4 hours. What? Oh, am I screaming?
You're really loud.
Oh, sorry. That's so embarrassing.
Yeah, it's talking really loud.
So nice. It's so much better than flying. And the views are really pretty. It's all just like the Swiss countryside.
Don't you worry any longer. You look ugly when you frown, and I don't want that shit around. Didn't no one ever told you? It's all big fake smiles in California.